Okay, hang on. Okay, let's sort this out. Okay, I wanted to implement the luxury goods tax. Luxury goods tax, we'll bring that in at the top level. Wealthy socialists are going to like us, capitalists are not. Equality is going to go up. High earnings charity, absolutely. We're implementing a massive luxury goods tax. That's quite helpful. Now, can we reduce spending on state pensions? No, we cannot. It's quite costly for us to do. But I really want us to sort that out. Obesity is dropping big time, so that's quite helpful. Very slowly dropping over there. Let's have a look at street gangs. Going back up again. Okay, we really need to spend a little bit more money on our police force or something of that sort. Let's see, is there anything here? This is just like speed cameras, not a lot of money from that, not a lot of impact. Racial Discrimination Act, we've upped that. CCTV cameras. Yeah, let's up that a little bit and see if we can drop our crime through this a little bit more. Okay, let's implement. And then if we see, can we, law and order, nothing else that we can implement over here. Okay. Where's this diverted profits? Yeah, so that's been done. I do want us to reduce spending on some things to get that number down. Okay, let's move on and see where we go to. Dexter Official is hosting us. Welcome, Dexter Official and gang. Okay, let's see what's going on. Illegal immigration outcry. So people are moving into our country, illegal immigration, and our polls are dropping still. Yeah, citizenship tests. I think that's an important one. An exclusive poll of our viewers show that many, like Brad, are hoping to see State of Chaos introduce a policy of citizenship tests to this country. Brad thinks it's crazy that so many immigrants take no measure whatsoever to integrate into our society. It's like living in a foreign country, he tells us. Tonight's report, and he is not alone. Oh, we can't even implement it. We don't have enough capital to do so. What can we do further over here? Internet currency tax, not money there. Oh, empty homes. That's a good one. So basically a tax levied on homes that are mostly left empty, generally second homes owned by the wealthy and used for a month or two each year. Popular in rural communities where wealthy buyers from other regions push up property prices, meaning that many young people and the less well-off cannot afford to buy at all. So that sounds like something that our government will be doing. Okay, let's do that. Let's implement that. It's not a lot of extra money, but a little bit at least. Socialists like us. Retired capitalists don't. The wealthy don't. Farmers do. Let's apply that one and see how it goes. How much capital do we still have? 5. Okay, let's see. Can we... Yeah, we can't actually afford to drop any of these things at this point in time. Social care. It's pretty low. How much is that? Well, you can drop that number a little bit more. Let's do that. Not going to make much of a difference to us. What is this? Young entrepreneur scheme. Into subsidies. That's not a lot of money. Let's drop the disability benefit a bit more. We need to stop our spending a lot. Okay? Let's see where that takes us now. The people are starting to like us a little bit more, so our political capital should be okay. What's going on with obesity? Oh, it's dropping sharply now. That's excellent. Overcrowding in hospitals is slowly going down. The respiratory one, slowly coming down still. Organized crime, too slow. Street gangs? Yeah, we're really struggling with some of these things. Oh no, ghettos is going back up again. And this is fake news. Yeah, I'm not sure how we fight that. Uncompetitive economy. Okay, excellent. So this should allow our GDP to recover a little bit once this sorts itself out. So that should be hopefully a good thing for us. Excellent. We're no longer in an uncompetitive economy. Our credit rating has improved. That is all good news. Patriotic plot. Although we have always considered extreme patriots such as the members of True Patriots to be a bit crazed, the rhetoric coming from this organization in recent weeks has taken a turn for the worst. Many of them now seem certain that a military attack against their own government is justified and desirable. We do not believe that they are currently planning such an attack, but these are dangerous people, and we need to keep a close watch on them. That's not good. The uncompetitive economy has stopped. That's very good. Our credit rating has gone up. Business confidence, capitalists, and the GDP improves. Unemployment is dropping. Crime is dropping. Health is excellent. I like that. Doctor strike is going to happen soon. How are we going to do that? Wages, trade unionist percentages. Unemployment is dragging it down. State health service is dragging it down. Private health care and labor laws. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm not too sure how we're going to deal with that. Looks okay, though. Ooh, excellent. Look at that. We're only 2 billion in deficit. That's excellent. We're moving in the right direction now, and the GDP is going in the right direction as well. That is excellent. We are now starting to recover. Let's see what's going on with obesity. Oh, we're going to beat obesity soon. That's going down too slowly. The GDP should now recover quite... Yeah. Look at that. GDP is going up big time now. How's this going? Okay. I would like to start looking at spending money on more security to sort out these things, but we are still struggling with that a little bit. So let's quickly see. Welfare fraud department is something we can have a look at. Consumer rights, government subsidies, helicopter money. What is helicopter money? An unusual policy designed to boost the economy immediately, where the government effectively prints money and hands it directly to citizens for them to spend. Normally, the amount is fixed and can be withheld from those on high incomes. Like all money printing, it's inflationary. Many governments did that for COVID. Quantitative easing. A form of unconventional monetary policy where the central bank effectively prints extra money and uses it to purchase bonds and stocks. This can spur immediate economic activity, but will also cause inflation and increase the wealth of people who own stocks. Small business grants. I would like to do things like state energy company and state telecoms company. There's all kinds of stuff that we can do over here. Tax. Plastic bag tax is something that I just, in general, I like the idea of. Organ donations. What does this do? There are few who would disagree that organ transplant is an amazing technology, but it requires a plentiful supply of doctors. Sadly, many people do not give the topic consideration. Some suggest that an opt-out policy is best, with consent for donation assumed unless otherwise stated. Others suggest that there's no place of the state to interfere. Explicit permission should be requested. I think we should interfere with something like that. What else can we do over here? Stamp out Racism Week. Actually, that's something we should be doing. State water company. That would be good. Yeah, let's do this. Let's implement this one. Racial tension. Yeah, let's drop racial tension as best we can. Transport. Subsidies, carpooling campaign, electric car initiative, fuel efficiency standards. Let's implement that for the respiratory stuff. Okay, oil demand will reduce, car usage will increase. Well, anyway, let's implement that as best we can. Telecommuting, let's implement this also. Commuters. Reduced commuter membership, car usage reductions. Yes, parents. Okay, let's do that. Let's implement this one. Nice. Okay, there we go. Our popularity is not good. Definitely not good. But let's give it a go. I can save this for the next round, so we can implement something a little bit more extreme next time. Okay, crime is dropping. The rest is kind of there. We've got a new major donor. The global economy is in recession, and this is having a negative effect on our GDP. Our credit worthiness. We have a surplus. Excellent. That is awesome. Glad to see we have a surplus. Oil drilling opportunity. Oil companies are keen to get permission to drill for oil in parts of the country protected as a wildlife refuge. The oil supplies under the refuge are considerable, but the drilling would have a negative impact on the environment. There are literally billions of barrels of oil here on our soil, and current law is preventing us from drilling for it. Instead, we are importing oil from other countries. The environmental impact will be minimal when you consider the gains that drilling makes in terms of energy security. Nobody wants to spoil the environment, but the alternative is a reliance on foreign oil. This valuable wildlife refuge would be devastated by oil exploration. This is one of our nation's greatest national treasures, and it would be criminal to wreck it just to boost the domestic oil production. Drilling in this part of the country will not entirely remove our dependence on foreign oil, but it will spoil natural benefit for generations. I think we're going to prevent the drilling. I think we've managed the economic issues for the most part, so we don't necessarily need that. So let's do that. Oh, and I think the only thing that actually happens is we anti-capitalist and pro-environmentalist. How's our 64%? So we're going up again. Okay, let's have a look. So now 24. Can we do... Got a surplus for the first time. I would like to maintain the surplus a little bit, but what I also want to do is I want to improve spending on some of these. Okay, excellent. So let's up our intelligence services as best we can. That was only about an extra billion being spent on that. So I think that'll be quite helpful. We'll go ahead and do that. Then I would like us to see what else we could do. Tax, transport, clean fuel subsidies, law and order, police drones. I like that. The right to die. This was an issue that people were saying that they wanted. Let's implement this. Religious don't like us, conservatives don't like it. The retired like it. Healthcare demand is reduced, which I think is a good one. Liberals like it, and population reduces a little bit. Anyway, let's just put it all out over there at will. Really? Let's revert changes. So single doctors agreement, families agreement, at will. Let's leave it with a single doctors agreement at least. Okay, now what's the next thing that we can do? So these things should now start to drop. Do we have we implemented? Hang on, let's have a quick look. If we do foreign policy, youth politics, keep the country tidy. What does youth politics do? It's just an improvement for the youth. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Spend the money on that, or the capital on that. What's going on with obesity? Let's just see. Oh, we'll get rid of obesity very soon. Overcrowding. Ooh, slow, very slow. State health service. Petrol tax. We have a car tax. There's so many taxes that we implement over here. Prison regime. I don't know. Congestion charging at a maximum. Yeah, that's not a lot of money coming in from that. Okay, what is the next thing that we're going to do here? We've got a surplus. I want to maintain a surplus a little bit as best we can. Carpooling campaign. Well, let's bring that in. Can at least afford that. Drop the car usage a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and see what's next. Ah, credit rating upgraded again. That is awesome. That is really helpful. National team wins the World Cup. Everybody loves us. Patriots love us. Excellent. Credit upgrade. That is awesome. Nice. That is really good to see. Manifesto promise. Major donor abandons us. Brain drain? Why? Our income tax. Luxury goods tax. Oh, luxury goods tax is what is causing this thing to happen. That's not good. But our GDP is recovering, which is great. Let's quickly see. How's our credit rating? Oh man, look at this. Our surplus is going up. I like it. I like that. So what we could potentially do is we could reduce the luxury goods tax a little bit. We've got an 11 billion surplus. So let's have a look at our luxury goods tax. Let's drop that down to... How much is this? This is... Oh, it's a lot of money. Let's drop it down to say 5 billion. 48% luxury goods tax. And hopefully that will not have such a big impact on the brain drain thing. So let's apply those changes. What's happening with this? Is this going to go up? Oh, look at that. We're going to solve organized crime. This is slowly going down. I do need us to implement better stuff for that. So let's go and have a look over here. I want to drop the state pensions a little. Socialism. A political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. That's what we're doing, isn't it? I'm going to drop the spending on... This is a massive drop, huh? Let's go to like 26. So a 10... Let's drop that to 27. So it's like a 9 billion drop here in state pensions that's being paid. And we'll aim to bring this back once we get that surplus sorted out a little bit better. Now let's see about implementing some other things that would help people a little bit. Welfare, tobacco awareness campaign, foreign... National Armed Forces Week. I'm going to implement that. This will help our patriots like us a little bit more. Okay, how's that? Let's see where we're getting to now. How popular are we? We're quite popular, actually. Okay, so now they're saying... Okay, let's have a look. So, State of Chaos. We're quite popular, I think. We've got quite a lot of people fanatically supporting us. The others are much less so. So, what do we need to do? Raise the GDP by 50%? How can we do that? It's at 63% at the moment. Human development. Wow. Cut poverty by 25%. I think that's something we can certainly start working towards. Gender equality, raise equality. Wow, we can't do that. Gender equality, that we could probably try and do. But let's try and cut poverty instead. We'll make a pledge to cut poverty. Okay, then speeches we can do. Okay. Fundraising. Not sure what we do with that. So this is what people are saying about us. We're trustworthy, we've got strong leadership, and we're compassionate. Actually, very good. So they actually like us quite a lot. Let's move on and see where that goes. Okay, it's actually the election. We should win the election, so let's see what the State of Chaos does. Ooh, we're not... Wow, look at the non-voters. My goodness. Okay. Well, we've won. 67% of the vote. Okay, so that didn't actually count. So 67% of the vote, that's excellent. So we've got a 2/3 majority. It's excellent. Let's begin the next term and see how we go. Do we want to reshuffle the cabinet? Maybe these two? Self-employed motorist, trade unionist, and commuter. I don't know why he doesn't like us. Let's try and get rid of her. Kill all the opposed, the opposition. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's just get rid of her. Motorist and liberal. Self-employed motorist. environmentalist capitalist and self-employed and capitalist. Not great, but I think the environmentalist part here could be useful. So let's bring her in. Okay, we've got a situation. We've got a doctor's strike on our hands, which is not good. That's going to have a big impact on our health. And we've got obesity under control, which is great, but now we've got the brain drain. Oh, we stopped that thing just too late. So we'll need to, it'll take a little bit of time to get that situation sorted out again. So that's going to have an impact on our GDP. Crime is dropping, but health is a problem here. Corporate manslaughter bill. What are we saying? A new bill is proposed that will allow a corporate entity to be prosecuted for manslaughter when they have been found guilty of negligence resulting in loss of life. Sounds reasonable. This law is necessary to deter companies from cutting corners when it comes to safety of their employees and members of the public. Too many people die every year in industrial accidents, and often there are no lessons learned, blame apportioned. This law will be a step forward. I think this is what we're going to do. This law is unenforceable, with large companies employing many subcontractors. The legal complexities involving applying blame for accidents are considerable. This law may be well-intentioned, but in practice it will be expensive waste of time that serves to line the pockets of lawyers whilst failing to achieve the real change in corporate behavior. Interesting. Okay, let's pass the law. Capitalists don't like it. Liberals and trade unionists do. That's excellent. They are on strike because of CV patients overload. Yeah, I think so. Polls report 70% popularity. Security briefing. Ooh, we've got a few of these guys now. Need to sort that out a little bit more. Yeah, we need to sort out the brain drain. I think we will. We need to turn that around. In a few turns' time, it'll drop and come back the other way. Our surplus is at 20 billion. I'm going to try and keep it there a little bit so that we can drop under the 2 trillion mark as best we can. That's my plan, at least. Okay, now what I need to do is start subsidizing the economy a little bit, so that we can start getting better at certain things. Eco home regulations, state energy company can be very costly. Allows the government to subsidize energy production if it chooses to do so. Small business grants. I think that's something I would like us to do. Do we have university grants? Let's see, public services, university grants. Let's actually go for university grants. I wanted to implement this a while ago, so let's get a fair bit of university grant implementation. I'm going to do it at the max, generous grants, so that we can really help out everybody here. Okay, let's get that in place. That'll be a good spending. Doctor strike. How can we resolve this? Unemployment needs to go. Trade unionist wages, labor laws. Okay, and then over here, are we dropping this down? Not really. We need to have a harder line on pollution controls. Let's see about pollution controls. Do we have pollution controls in place? Yes, we do. Let's be a little bit more aggressive with our pollution controls. Wow, it's an impact on the GDP though. National Armed Forces Week. Let's have a look at our police force. Let's up our spending for the police force a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to max our spending on the police force. That's going to be good. Let's apply that also. I think that's going to be quite helpful. That would be good. Hopefully that'll turn things around for us. Okay, unemployment is going up. No! That's not what I want. The GDP is dropping, which is obviously terrible. Nuclear test ban treaty. The United Nations is pushing for your country to sign a treaty that would ban us from carrying out any nuclear weapons tests for research purposes. Many other nations have already signed the treaty and are pressuring us to sign through diplomatic channels. We have no deal, sign the treaty. We have no real need to carry out further tests. It's not like the current generation of weapons do not work or are not powerful enough. Signing the treaty will keep environmental campaigners happy and will raise the popularity of our international stage. I think we have to do this, though. It's vital that we retain the right to carry out limited testing. We live in a dangerous world, and our nuclear deterrent is vital to our defense. It's not for other nations to tell us how to defend ourselves. Besides, testing is required and ensure our weapons still remain usable. Do not sign the treaty. Now, I think we're going to sign the treaty this time around. Patriots are not going to like it as much, but I think environmentalist and foreign relations is a good thing to get. What's going on with the security briefing? Okay, that's dropping a little bit, which is quite helpful. Why don't you just check again? How's this going? Yeah, oof, look at that GDP drop that we're seeing. Massive. We still have an 18 billion surplus, which is something I would like to hold on as best we can. Our education should now start to improve. Yeah, our education is going up. Health dropped a lot when the doctor strike started, but our health is not bad. What is this? Average temperature is going down. Okay, that's excellent. Water industry. Okay, what's going on over here? We're combating fake news, I can tell you that much. Ghettos are going up. We need to get rid of the street gangs. We're struggling. We're really struggling to do it because we're not managing poverty and unemployment. We need to sort out poverty. Let's have a look. Poverty. How can we deal with that? Alcohol tax is putting people in poverty. Junk food. So the question is, will this help us? If we reduce the alcohol tax, the tobacco tax, the sales tax, really the big one is the alcohol tax. So let's try and sort out the alcohol tax. Let's cut the alcohol tax a little bit. We're not making that much money from it anymore. So let's drop that down quite substantially. Okay, hang on. Before we do that, revert the changes. I just want to see what is our alcohol consumption at the moment. Alcohol awareness campaign, alcohol consumption, alcohol law. What is our alcohol consumption looking like? It's coming back up, actually. We obviously don't want it back at those levels, so we will need to remain some taxes on it, but if we can, we would like to drop poverty a little bit. So maybe let's drop it down to like 25% tax. That'll drop poverty quite substantially. Let's apply the changes over there and see if that helps us out a little bit. Technology slowly moving up a little bit maybe. What's this? Healthcare demand is dropping, which is good. I like that. I like that. What else can we implement here to deal with this, with these issues? Security things. Let's see about security things. Law and order. Police drones. I like it. I like the idea of putting police drones in place. Yep, maximum police drones. We'll sort out these things as quickly as we can. Hopefully that helps us a lot. Okay, let's move that on and see where we go. GDP is still dropping, crime is dropping, education is going up, and poverty is going down. A disease is eradicated. A sustained campaign of vaccinations, education, and monitoring has led to a chronic, debilitating disease being eradicated in our country. We must ensure that we defend this status so that our people can go on living free of this destructive illness. Okay, a religious plot. Our security services have been watching the group of religious extremists known as the Angels of Heavenly Justice for some time, and recent statements by their leader have given us cause for concern. Their organization has become more militant, often advocating violence and direct attacks against enemies of God, and specifically your government. We believe this represents a material threat to our security, and we should keep a close watch. Whoops. Leon, welcome to the stream. How are you? What's going on here? Are we still... Ooh, our surplus is not looking as good. The global economy is going up, but our GDP is still going down. So we really need to fix that issue. So hopefully now this, oh, look at that. We're going to solve the street gang thing now. How's organized crime going? We're going to solve organized crime. How's the ghettos? We need to solve that one. Fake news is dropping. What's going on over here? Are we dropping this? Oh, excellent. That's a good one. We're dropping that one. Hospital overcrowding is going down. And then the doctor's strike is starting to go down. What's going on with the brain drain? I think we can potentially sort this thing out. We want to maintain this surplus that we've got at the moment. What is this? Creationism versus evolution? We're going to go with evolution only so that the religious membership can go down. Let's apply that. Wow. Costs a lot to do that. Welfare fraud department. Let's bring that in. Reduces the poor. Oh, actually the poor doesn't like this. But I do want that income actually. Free parenting classes. Let's implement something like that. That's not too expensive and that helps our population. But also parents like us a little bit more. So let's implement that. Excellent. Good. That's quite helpful. Let's see where we go from here. Can we please turn the GDP around? Oh no, our credit rating has been downgraded. We're 94% popular. That's excellent. This means we're going to not have a surplus, or we have a very tiny surplus now. What else is happening? They don't like the junk food tax. We're not getting that much money from it, and obesity is not an issue anymore. It is upping poverty a little bit, so let's drop that down a little. Let's bring the junk food tax. Well, our health system is not great either, so let's bring it down to say 50%. Hopefully that helps some of the issues a little bit. Okay. What's going on with the brain drain? I think we should get out of it in another few quarters. The doctor's strike, oof, that's still a big issue. Unemployment is really... I don't quite understand. This seems a little weird to me. Is unemployment pushing it up or down? Is wages the issue here? Wages seems to be the issue. Can we hire Dr. Kevin as a health minister? Sounds like a good idea. Press freedoms. This should be still not heading down. This should be heading down. We should solve this one shortly. And we should solve that one shortly. Yeah, next turn around that will be solved. How's this going? Down. That's good to know. And this is slowly going down, very slowly. Okay, let's have a look at our labor laws. Let's revert the changes. If we look at working week, does working week have an impact on the GDP? It doesn't. Okay, well let's implement a little bit of an improvement to the labor laws and see maybe that helps us out a little bit. Costs a lot of political capital to do so. What is the smart meter program? People can save money and environment at the same time. That sounds like a good idea. Energy efficiency. Okay, we'll implement that. Wow, it's quite pricey though. Let's revert the changes and just bring the medium ones, apply the medium ones in there now. Okay, junk food tax has been reduced. The tobacco tax is still pretty high and it's pushing poverty a little bit, but I think that's okay. We'll just still have it like on half. Air travel is really having an impact on the GDP, I think. So any other things? What is this? Welfare fraud department. Yeah, okay, that's bringing us a little bit money. Community policing. I think we're going to clear these now, so that's okay. Anything else that we need to do? Yeah, that's about it for us. Okay, let's move on and see. Okay, street gang solved. Organized crime has been solved, so crime is being reduced quite substantially. That's excellent. Religious symbols in school. I think I'm going to introduce the ban. That's just the socialist thing to do. The communist thing, really. Economic forecasts are okay. We have a surplus of 2 billion. That's excellent. Our GDP is slowly starting to recover. That's excellent. Very good to see that. Our education is going up big time. Our healthcare demand is going down. Where is our health? Health is coming back up. What's going on here with the doctor's strike? Oh no! Did I get this the wrong way around? It seems like I did. So if we start spending a little bit more on state health, that'll help. But I don't quite know. So this will turn around now because street gangs is going to be out. Brain drain? Yeah, I think we should fix the brain drain shortly. What do we have over here? Narcotics. Okay, let's see. Law and order. If we implement gambling, right, that'll put crime back up there. Wiretapping. Internet censorship. Legalizing sex work. Anti-corruption agency. Gated communities. If we legalize gambling, what does that do? We can't actually see what it implements, but everybody is going to love us. We need to sort out our economy. So what can we do here? Rural development grants, space program, diversity quotas. Let's implement that. Consumer rights, green electronics initiative. I think that'll help us out a little bit actually. CO2 emissions. Energy efficiency environmentalists. Okay, we'll implement that one. National Business Council, we'll implement that. Oh yeah, that improves the GDP quite a lot. Let's sort that out and see if we can help our GDP a little bit. Okay, let's see what's going to happen now. Alcohol abuse is back because we dropped. Oh, it just did it so quickly. So quickly. I think I'll bring it back up again a little bit. The alcohol tax. Grave move protests. The remains of a fascist historical figure have been exhumed from their prominent burial site in the capital and moved to a remote grave. Socialists have praised the relocation as a chapter of our past will no longer be glorified, whereas conservative nationalists protests against the intervention, expressing that it is not possible to erase the past. Interesting. Okay, now we've got a deficit on our hands. Let's quickly see what else is there. We need to sort out the alcohol abuse thing because that gets out of hand really quickly. These guys are kind of all dropping, so they're really not problematic for us, I think. I'm going to bring the alcohol tax up again a little bit. We could do with the extra cash, so we'll bring alcohol tax up to like 50%. So we'll apply that there. It's going to work on our poverty issue in the wrong direction though. What is this? Judicial independence. Is this dropping? This should start to drop. We need to drop that a little bit more aggressively. That's stabilizing. Wow. Okay, what else can we do to improve our GDP? So let's see what kind of grants. Look at our debt interest. If we can just drop the debt interest down a little bit, that would be so helpful. What can we do to to get our economy better. Business grants, robotics research, farming subsidies, business startup campaign. Let's do a business startup campaign. See about, actually, yeah, let's do that and see whether that helps us at all. Small business grants. Let's implement small business grants. Get the GDP sorted out. Self-employed, capitalists. We'll do that at 2 billion. Hopefully that will help us in the long run. Property tax. Don't want to tax people too aggressively though. Payroll tax is already quite high. Don't want to go too aggressive with that. Anything else that we can maybe get a little bit of money from or boost our economy a little bit? Health food subsidies. No, I don't think so. We'll save that and go from there. Just having a bit of tea now. Okay, so fracking. Unemployment is dropping. Poverty is going up though. I do want to implement the citizenship tests. Let's do that. So that'll drop racial tension quite a lot. Patriots will love it. Drop immigration a little bit. I think that's okay. Maybe just the medium one should be fine. That's okay. What else do we have? Fracking. Okay, hydraulic fracturing, better known as fracking, is a drilling technology that allows energy companies to exploit. Leon, thank you for the hydrate. I'm having a cup of tea. Okay. This allows energy companies to exploit previously unreachable deposits of shale gas. The technique is relatively new and requires the government to give permission to use. On the one hand, it opens up potentially huge supplies of energy. On the other hand, there are a series of environmental concerns about the process. I think we're going to ban it. I don't think we need the energy. Let's ban it. Yeah, I'm pro-environmentalist and not so much capitalist, so that's good. Capitalists already hate me. 96% popular, so that's awesome. Very minimal. Still need to drop these down a little bit, but our security rating is good at the moment, so that's excellent. What's happening with these guys? Not going down quick enough. This should be going down. Oof, slow. Need to sort out ghettos. That was the end of street gangs. Wow, the doctor strike. We're really not able to sort out the doctor strike, are we? We've still got a massive, a pretty big deficit. Okay. Oh. What did we do? Okay, what can we do to improve things a little bit? Let's have a look at this. No, that's about right there. We are funding tourism. I think that's just about it, really. How's the brain drain going? Oh no! Do we need to drop luxury good tax even more? Okay, so it means that we can bring luxury goods tax to like 50% and it'll hold. Yeah, so we would like luxury goods tax in that kind of area there. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Credit rating upgrade. Excellent. That is excellent. That is excellent. This means that we should now be making a surplus. Excellent. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, excellent. That's very good. That means now, okay, let's see what else was in here. Economic forecast is doing well. New donor. Nothing else too worrisome. GDP going up is exactly what we're after. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the luxury goods tax. To say 35, actually, let's just go all the way here. so we can get down a little quicker, and then we'll bring it back up to over here somewhere. Okay, so that should hopefully get that sorted out. Now, what can we do? State rail companies, car emission limits, clean fuel subsidies. Let's put some limits in place. Apply that. That should be quite helpful. Public services, reforestation. Let's implement that. Respiratory disease. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that one. That looks quite useful. Okay. Very good. What's going on here? Are we moving it? Yes, it's going in the right direction. Over here. Slowly. That one. Slowly. Ooh. Went up again for a little tick there. I don't know what to do with the doctors, man. I need to spend more on state health. Okay. Let's see if we can do that. Respiratory disease should be dropping down a little bit too. Okay. Let's move it on. Extradited hacker. Ooh, corporate exodus. That we don't want to do that. We have successfully extradited a convicted foreign hacker who compromised key government computer systems. Our global influence and extradition treaties have delivered a blow against international cybercrime today. Quite good, quite good. Cyber warfare, strong leader. Okay, that's excellent. What else is happening? A corporate exodus is imminent. Corporation tax is the biggest problem here. Work safety laws. Give them free house and free car and free days. Yeah, true. Our data is showing us that we will have potentially bad situation. We don't want to do that. So maybe we should drop the corporation tax a little bit. See if that helps us turn this thing around, but we're heading in the wrong direction too quickly. What did we implement over here that's causing this this spike over here, like 4 quarters ago? I wonder. They're very popular. Okay, corporation tax. So this one over here. Wow, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. We can drop it a little bit, but really, that is not something we can really afford long run. Implement inheritance tax. I think that's about right where it's sitting there. I don't want to implement more taxes. This should be resolved soon, and that has an impact on GDP, on health, and the healthcare demand. Hopefully that'll help all of these doctor situations. Wow, look at this thing. It takes a lot of medical professionals to refuse to work, but the state of our health provision and the salaries of our health workers has resulted in a national health strike. This has an immediate and devastating effect on those who use their health services regularly. So how do I pay doctors more? Can I do that? Is there a way for me to do that? Welfare? Female genital manipulation. I'm going to drop that. Definitely. Law and order, foreign policy, diplomatic services. That implements. Okay. Let's do a few things. I want to do this, get rid of this, and childcare provision, but that's expensive. Okay, let's see about this. So let's implement that one. And try and get gender equality better. That should be just a good one to do. Childcare provision. Let's see if we can implement a little bit of childcare provision. That'll help our productivity a fair bit and reduce unemployment quite a lot. But it is really, really pricey. Even at that middle ground there. More money for healthcare system to fix doctor strike? Yeah, I think that is what you're. Yeah, that is probably the right thing to do. Let's put this thing up there. and then see what impact this is. There's a lot of money that's going to cost us. Now let's see about the healthcare system. We don't have enough influence to sort out the healthcare system right now. So let's see how that tracks from here. The respiratory one, still a bit of an issue here. Overcrowding, still an issue. We should resolve this soon. Okay, let's move that along and see where that goes. Housing expansion. Relax planning laws, keep planning restrictions. There is a shortage of homes in our country, and the government is under pressure to relax planning laws to allow previously restricted greenbelt land to be built on. House prices are rising far faster than earnings due to mainly shortage of supply in the long term. The only solution is to build more housing. It's no good providing housing where there are no jobs, and if that means building on a small proportion of the greenbelt land, then that's that price we have to pay. Let's do this. Let's relax the planning law. The environmentalists are not going to like it, but farmers are not going to like it. Capitalists are liking it. GDP is going up. Homelessness reduces. Well, that's been the right thing, I think. Tonight, angry classic car salesman Stanley explains how this government's disastrous car emission limits policy is wrecking their once thriving business. Stanley may have to close his 25-year-old business after government policy has made the cars he sells virtually worthless. Another vote lost for State of Chaos. Tune in for our special report. Yeah, I think I'm definitely not going to change that. The GDP is going up. No. Unemployment's going down. I think we're in a good spot at the moment, and we're very popular. We just need to maintain our credit rating. Probably drop our credit rating even more would be good. We still have a surplus in place, which is good. Now, let's spend a little bit more money on state health services and try and get that doctor strike underway. So where were we? Revert change is 29 billion. If we put that up to, say, 33 billion over here, we'll apply those changes there. Okay, let's have a look what's going on over here. Ooh, can we sort this thing out? I think we should be able to sort it out soon. How's this doing? Going down? Yes, sharp downturn over there. I think this thing will turn around now with our extra spending. Our unemployment and poverty should go down due to our new childcare provisioning. Hybrid cars initiative, public tax returns, punitive tax on superstores. I think this is something to do. Superstores may be convenient for our citizens, but they have many negative effects. They encourage car journeys rather than supporting local shops, and their dominance is encouraging a society dominated by big business with no room for small family-owned stores. They should be taxed to reflect the harm they do to the fabric of our society. Well, let's do that. Capitalist, it's a little drop in the GDP. Self-employed, car usage drop, and environmentalists like it, and that's a pretty decent amount of money. We're just going to put it at the middle ground there and see how that goes. See if we can maintain a surplus. I would like to see this under 2 trillion. So we did put more money into the healthcare system. So let's see if we can afford that in the long run. Okay, well, we'll keep this in place. What is this guy? A patriot and a capitalist. Yeah, we knew that he's going to have a problem. The rest are kind of fond of us, so we're okay with that. Okay, he's not liking us. GDP is going up. Yes. Unemployment's going down. Awesome. One of your cabinet ministers needs to talk urgently in private. Currently working as your law and order minister, is displeased with current government policy, which is unpopular with their core supporters, patriots and capitalists. As a result, there is a danger of the minister wanting to spend more time with their family in the near future. Ministerial resignations hurt popularity of your government, so it may be worth adjusting your policies to placate their supporters. Compulsory work for unemployed? I like that. I'm happy to implement that. Let's do it. Poor will reduce, GDP will go up, unemployment will reduce. Poor don't like it, socialists don't like it. But I'm okay with You know, everyone receiving unemployment benefits now has to do some work every week or risk a payment cut in their benefits. This includes public beautification, collecting litter, or and other tasks that do not risk any jobs. The goal is to make use of this major workforce and get people back into a work routine, hopefully resulting in them getting jobs soon. Nobody should expect to live off the state without working. I couldn't agree more. Let's implement that. So unemployment should drop. Actually, GDP should increase. How's this going? Okay, we still have a surplus, which is awesome. I'd like to keep dropping that debt over there. How is our impact here? Oh, excellent. That extra state health spending was exactly the right thing to do. State health service is actually dropping this now again. Okay, good. Hopefully that will solve that. Alcohol, we should get alcohol sorted soon. This going down. Slowly. Slowly. Brain drain. Ooh, yes, we're getting there. Okay, there's something else here somewhere we can do. Lots of stuff, but we don't have any political capital. Okay, let's move on. Oh, safeguard oil supplies. Representatives from oil companies based in our country have requested that the government deploy troops overseas at our oil refineries in the Middle East to protect them from attack by terrorists. The governments involved are happy for our troops to be stationed on their soil for this purpose. Send the troops. This is why we have a military, and we should not be afraid to use it. Foreign terrorists need to understand. What am I saying? Need to understand that we are prepared to take determined action to safeguard our oil supplies. This is not a foreign invasion, merely the provision of extra security for vital parts of our industry that happen to be overseas. If we do not deploy the troops, the oil supply will suffer. It doesn't matter that what our motivation is. The symbolism of our troops landing on foreign soil, heavily armed and prepared to use deadly force, is going to cause a major backlash in some countries. It's likely this will lead to both problems with international relations and the possibility of increased terrorism. Our troops are not the security wing of oil companies, and this is no job for them. I do agree with that. Maybe later, when we're a dictator completely. But for now, we're not going to deploy the troops. Liberals and ethnic minorities, but the oil supply, not great, not great. Okay, we've resolved the alcohol abuse issue. That's excellent. So health is going up. We had a credit rating upgrade. That is what we were looking for. A female leader, so liberalism and liberal is going up. The corporate exodus is resolving. Excellent. So the drop in the corporation tax was exactly what we needed to not get this thing triggered. That is excellent. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, we've got a massive surplus now due to our credit interest dropping. The economy is turning around, but our GDP is still going up, which is excellent. We are in a good spot now. What's going on with the brain drain? We should resolve brain drain soon. Got a big surplus now. Excellent. Things are looking up for us. Things are really looking up for us. How's this going? That's dropping. How's this going? Too slow. I wouldn't mind spending a little bit more on state health then. Let's up that even more. So we max it out for a little bit. Let's max it out a little bit and see if we can't resolve those issues. Let's max that out. Now, let's go over here. Is there a... There was an issue somewhere. It was like a racial, no, not racial profiling. Faith school subsidies, school prayers, economy. I think we're okay. Trade Council. It's always has trading partners. Let's implement the Trade Council so that we can improve international relations and trade. That should be okay. I'm going to leave those 10 here because we don't need to do anything urgently. We've got a massive surplus at the moment. So let's leave it here. Maybe we can implement something more extreme next time. Okay, what's going on here? Let's have a look. Oh man, still 18 billion surplus.